Hello, April and I are back again to talk about all the cool things you get at this retreat.
Yes, there is a long list of things that is included in the price package. And so we just wanted to break things down because some things are a little bit like, well, what is that? So let's break it down, Christina.
So first of all, I just have to say, when I downloaded this retreat, this process it's incredible. And I can't take credit for it. I downloaded this after receiving the 13th rite on a beach in Hawaii. It just dropped in, and this process is so incredibly powerful. And there are multiple pieces to this process. So some of the things that you get are astrology readings. April, will you talk about some of the astrology readings we get?
Yes, because they're so cool. Okay, so Christina and I are both astrologers. And so we really honed in on, first and foremost, as soon as you sign up, you get a natal chart reading with either one of us. You get a pick. That's included, which is so fantastic. You learn so much about yourself, and that happens even before retreat. One of the other readings that you get is a goddess report. And this is something that is not super common in the astrology world because it uses the goddess asteroids. It uses these fixed stars and that are goddesses, and they carry with them goddess energy. And we look and we on your chart, and we can see where they are in your chart, and we can see how they are affecting you. And you get this whole report that we go through at the retreat, but you get it's printed out, it's like individualized to you, and you get to take it home.
Yeah.
And then the third reading that you get, astrology reading, is a midlife reading, a midlife report. You get this midlife report where we, because what happens is we've all heard of midlife crises, and because it's so common. Well, because the rest of the world doesn't really know, the midlife crisis is actually these midlife transits that are happening in the sky for the whole generation. And so that's why it's typically around the same ages that people go a little nuts. But really, it's super empowering if you understand what your midlife transits are doing for you, and then you can work with them. And so we give you a whole report on what's happening, when, dates, when to expect things, if you've already gone through with them, kind of validation on what you went through. And it's actually one of my favorite reports because it's so fun to listen to when these women get these reports, because they're like, oh my gosh, this is when this was going on in my life. Or it really is the most fascinating thing.
I have such a sweet memory of our first retreat when, after we did that midlife transit workshop, when a woman who was there, she was in her 70s, so way past midlife. And I get emotional. I think of this. I will always remember her just looking up, because she was sitting there and looked up at us, and she goes, I wasn't crazy. This changes everything. And even at that time, she experienced healing retroactively for the time that she was going through something, and she thought she was crazy. And that's just so sweet. And other sisters, other goddesses that are in the middle of it. And it's so empowering. So, and then the goddess, I've got a couple of people that still reach out to me regularly from the retreat who are talking about how impactful these goddesses were. So, it's amazing. That in and of itself is just incredibly valuable. Plus, you get an Astro Tarot reading from me. I do an Astro Tarot reading for you where we look at your toes. And looking at your toes tells you where you are in your life now. And if you're really curious about that, if you go to YouTube to Toe Reading Academy, you can see the videos that I've created there about this. So you get all these astrology readings. That's one of the things you get. Then before the retreat starts also, so you get that natal reading, the Astro Tarot reading, also before the retreat starts, you get emotion and body code sessions with Anne, who is one of our facilitators. And so you get that before you come. You also get a personal numerology video by Jenna Lee, who's another one of our facilitators. And that's all before you even get there.
Yes, which is kind of amazing. And it really kind of helps you grasp who you are and where you want to go before you even get a chance to get there. And then it's like it's like we're ready to hit the ground running as soon as you get there. So it's super fun and really, really cool. I think it helps to hype everybody up to get there, because it's like, okay, at least for me, especially doing the readings, I'm like, oh, I feel like I already know you, and we're going to just love it. It's going to be yes, I just feel like we're best friends before we even start.
Indeed. It really sets the stage for that. And then there's something that you prepare for them before, and they get there. And this is one of your deep talents. Tell us about that one.
Yes. So I do a 13 moon card reading. So I tap into your energy and do a reading I pick a card for each new moon and full moon for the 13 moons, starting with the moon of the retreat. And you get a document with information for the moons. And so then you can pull it out, and we give you the print, so you can pull it out and have access to it for the next almost 6 months of and it's super wonderful information. It's super empowering. It's really helpful. And I also pull an additional card as a message from spirit, and as overall for that month.
I'll just say, I love mine. I put mine on the wall every month for the new month, and I look at it all the time. Like, it's just right over there on my wall. I literally look at it multiple times a day. And then it's amazing to see, especially in retrospect, how it was spot on. There's even been a couple of the cards that I've set right here and taped to my desk because they were a message that I needed continually. And so it's such a beautiful thing to have this ongoing reminder and help with those cards.
And what I love so much is that not only are we doing some of these things beforehand, but then also with the cards and a few other things, you're getting support after as well. So it's not just this 4 to 5 days of just like us cocooning you, and then it's like, all right, go. It is literally a before, during, and after process. And we love that we have the skill set to do that.
And so let's just talk about that. The community, the sisterhood that is created at this. I'll be honest, I've been to dozens of retreats, and they're very good, excellent retreats. I have never experienced the ongoing love and support and communication and community building and collaboration of these goddesses that just continue and carry on. Businesses have been started, collaborations in other ways have been made. Like, it just keeps on going. So the community.
The community is just a perk. We don't advertise that that's something you get in this. It's just a freaking perk. And really, I feel like everybody who's ever come to any of these retreats really has like a special spot in the heart. And I feel like what I love is I feel like we're calling in soul people. So if you come, if you feel guided to this, just know that you're part of us. Like, you have now become best friends of ours at the very least, if not everybody else. So so that's just additional perk. But let's go into some of the things that you get at retreat.
Yes, excellent. One other thing that I just wanted to mention that you get before, from the moment you sign up, you go in my Reiki grid. So you're getting 24/7 Reiki energy, which is just soft, supportive energy. So yes, at the retreat. So this is just all the stuff around. At the retreat, the first day, you do the 13th Rite womb healing. Okay, this is a very special thing. This is from the Quero tradition that I am trained in. I'm a trained shaman in that tradition, and is for womb healing. We all have trauma, generational or in this life, to our wombs, and it helps heal that wound. And then one of the other things we do on the first day is we do this closing of the bones ceremony. And when April brought this to me, I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, I felt the power of it. So explain to us the closing of the bones.
Yes. Okay, so I love so much, because go back to one of our videos where we talk about what a dark moon goddess is, because it is that transitional place that we get to. But we address the first day, the mother, and the wounding that we have received by being mothers, by our own mothers, by like generational mother things. And so that womb healing. And then I was a doula for 10 years, a birth doula for 10 years. And I loved supporting women in childbirth and really helping to empower them and creating this like buffering safe space. And there's this cultural tradition in most South American countries that's called closing of the bones. So once a woman has had her baby, there's this space of having shared your body, that it's not your own. Like you grew some other person inside of you who like took your nutrients, essentially took everything from you, and then you birthed them, and then you continue to nourish them through physically, through your milk, or through your emotionally, through caretaking. And so this closing of the bones, it doesn't have to be right after childbirth. That's why we do it here, is this like reclaiming of your body. You're reclaiming of yourself. You're closing yourself up after having opened it for so long to others. And it's this, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is, and it just that reclaiming of our physical bodies is part of the dark moon goddess process. The reclaiming of our bodies from bearing children, from our relationships, our sexual relationships, just this reclamation of our bodies. And this goes far beyond this lifetime. This is bloodline. This is past lives. This is that reclaiming, and that healing goes forward to our daughters and our sons. Because even though the men don't have wombs, they have wounds and wound. I need to be really clear. They don't have wombs, but they do have wounds from the feminine wound.
Well, and not to mention, if you look at literal DNA, it's the mitochondria, which is the feminine DNA. So men have the feminine DNA because they come from a woman, regardless. So we all have the mitochondria, which is this mother energy, and we all need healing around it.
We do. So the 13th rite and the closing of the bones are those healing ceremonies that go back generations and lives and forward generations and lives. And then one of the favorite days is the past life regression day. So April, what was your experience with past life regression?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we did a whole video about this. So go listen to that, because we get into great detail. We talked to Jenny, who is the hypnotherapist, that she's there the whole time. And it's seriously so fascinating. My experience, I honestly, the past life regression day, because it's a big day. We're doing a lot of hypnosis, a lot of work, and so that is kind of the big thing that we do that day. And it's my favorite day, honestly. I love the awarenesses that come through. I now have had 4 past life regressions, and each one of them has been so insightful, and something that I've actually continued to learn from as life has kept going. And I have visited those experiences and been like, oh, okay, there's some insight there. This is interesting. specifically around relationships, around my father. Honestly, my father, that has been a huge healing process for me, because of what I experienced with the past life regression.
Amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And I've also experienced deep healing with past life regression hypnosis. So these are just a few of the things. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of just the other things, kind of like community. They're just things that you get. So high vibe meals, like everyone loves the food at the Dark Moon Goddess Retreat. You get a playlist on Spotify so that you can listen and continue to feel the vibration from the retreat. We make rattles for sound healing. We do lots of other ceremony. We do the Dark Moon Goddess ceremony, a moon ceremony on the new moon when we can. And there's hiking, there's outdoor activities. At the place that we go in Idaho, there's healing natural artisan hot springs that are just absolutely healing for our bodies and souls. Just all the things. I'll tell you, when I created this retreat, and I told you about how I can't claim it all, I really downloaded it. It was the retreat that I really wanted. After having been to dozens of retreats that were beautiful and amazing, and I loved them, this was the retreat that I wanted. And I either couldn't find it, and the closest things were like $10,000 or more. And so I created the retreat that I wanted. And I put together this beautiful team of people. April, who is all things co-facilitator with me and just helps with all the things, plus is our cook, and she does a marvelous job with that. We have Jenna Lee, who is our past life regression hypnotist and also one of the most versed coaches and healers in all the healing arts. We have Alina, who is the sous chef, but even as powerful as that is, she is like the Qigong master. She creates Qigong routines for us to do that are so nurturing to our bodies, that have to do with whatever gate we're in. We've got another video on the gates, but whatever day, whatever gate of transformation we're in, she's made up a Qigong flow for us on that. And then you have ongoing emotion code and things going on with Anne. I just feel like our team is one of the biggest benefits of this retreat and what you get.
Yes. And I will say, I mean, we talked about some of the more intense things that are offered there, but I feel like this retreat has such a good balance of moving your body and then like downtime, like integration time, but then also like healing and inner work, and then community like building, and don't be afraid of any of the like physical movement, because it's all very gentle, and it's all like, so when you say hiking, it really is like nature walking, like it
Nature
is
walk.
there's not, but it's soul filling. And so the whole thing, I just feel like is a really good balance.
It is. And I feel personally really satisfied and really proud of what we have been able to create together for this. And I feel continually fulfilled by the community that is created in this sacred container of the Dark Moon Goddess Retreat.
Yes. We hope you join us.
I do. And we invite you to join us, and we'll see you soon.